Yes, are able to speak, Senthil?
I think if as in I do an
Oh,
allow mic, then they will be. The challenge
okay.
is this is because it's Saturday. So,
Okay,
so
okay.
again,
Got it.
people, everyone, good morning. Thanks for joining. Uh, Before I introduce Yahoo, so in the chat, raise your hand. Whatever works in Teams, I'll unmute you and then you can ask it. And then the session is getting recorded. Like I said, I do have a channel on Mainframe. Uploaded past sessions to it. Some of those are hidden. So when people ask me for a link, I give them so they can't see it by searching. I usually meetings and how much I want to put it in open internet. So yeah, so just be aware that you are getting recorded and it might be in YouTube at some point. Um, so I am happy to introduce Yahoo. Yahoo works in IBM Bob. We have been working on a lot of integrations of our erstwhile ADDI into Bob, additional Z specific skills and modes for Bob and all that. Yahoo is the expert on it. The idea of this session is to give a brief beginner 101. So it's not supposed to be like to get you started. When there's so many conversations that happen in a Scrum call about GenAI, but we don't even follow the conversation because the vocabulary is new. There are things that I just don't follow because just don't know the word itself. Like they say MCP, and I'm on. So this was supposed to be a more of a beginners 101 kind of thing, and then we'll go from there. If there is an interest larger session at some areas into GenAI. Right? So that's the expectation. So if that matches with what you please again type it in the preferred after we present it. If there is time, we'll cover your part as well. Okay. So thanks for joining. So over to you, Tiago. And thanks, Tiago, for spending Saturday with us.
For the intro. So yeah, I mean, welcome everyone, first of all. So, cover for the basic beginners actually. So, those who are, already have some AI knowledge, I think you guys will see the demo at the end. So that will be, but I'm trying to cover everything from the basics. So if no one is knowing, no one is not able to understand what the AI, what is going to do in mainframe era. So I'm just trying to cover from the basics. So that's what the session is all for you. Yeah, so myself, Thiago. So I mean, already Senthil gave the introduction to me. So I'm leading one of the part in PPZ. So I'm taking the lead of transform and validate. So yeah, I will start the session. So I will put a break at some point after 8 or 10 slides, and then yeah, if something you have any questions, yeah, you can able to ping here, and then we will try to address everything. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so my screen is visible, Cynthia.
Hey, yeah.
Uh, so this is the our agenda here, all these sections. So the first thing is like, what is AI, and then why it is booming now? Because this is AI is the word which comes from very long ago actually, right? So but right now these years it's really booming. So you want to understand why AI is booming now, and then I'm going to cover about what is an LLM, and then what is the features of LLM, and then I want to cover about GenAI versus Agentic AI because a lot of they don't know what is the meaning of GenAI, but they don't know the use case of that. More on this part as well. And then the finally, like this is the main part, like how a developer. So that's what everyone needs right now in the mainframe era, right? So I will just try to cover that. And then I am going to provide some intro about the IBM Bob. So, this is the coolest feature which IBM has released recently. So everyone will love this because uh, is also one of the coolest chat experience which you guys will feel it in the IBM Bob. And then I'm going to cover a lot of core concepts in the sense, you guys already worked in the maybe other chat experience like Copilot and then Claude, everything, but many of them not ever, a lot of. I'm going to cover all this and then what is mean by the context window. So a lot of features I show the demo at the end. I have prepared from end to end, like how the like mainframe developers comes into the daily life, and then they will be start from the scratch. Like how they are going to. So I am getting the requirements and the how I am going to process the requirement and how I am going to send the testing, and then how it is going to be validated. So I'm going to complete. I mean, I'm going to show the demo in a complete end-to-end scenario and how. So yeah, so far this is my agenda. So I'm going to cover all the sections now. Let's start the first thing. Okay, so first, like what is AI? Like, why is it booming? What does it mean for mainframe developers? So these are the main thing, everyone will ask now, right? So basically, this is the word which comes from 1950s, but it is recently trending in last 3 years, right? So how it is really trending, and then because in when I was joined my career in that year itself, like someone mentioned AI is going to occupy the world, and then that's like everyone says when I was entering my career as well, right? So but that time it's not boomed, right? So but recent days, it you guys will able to see a lot of AI technology. So why it is booming? So this is what I want to share. So the main thing is like the three pillars which is comes from the AI. So the one is like the hardware. Okay, so in previous years, right? So there is if I will cover a lot of things in a model in upcoming slides. So if you guys don't about the model, don't worry about that. So let's take like example like previous years. If you are going to work with AI, you need a specific hardware. Also, like to work with that hardware. Okay, so but now in today's world, in the recent years, then it and affordable. So if you see today's you are affordable, so you can easily able the AI easily. But in previous years, it was very difficult, and even though it will really take tons of time to take for training a model or a lot of things. So the best thing is like this hardware part. So that's what you guys are able to see the NVIDIA was in very high because of this AI graphic processors, which you guys want to understand as the data, like so previously, right, I am having some issues, right? So what I will do, so I will ask my senior developers, right? And then once my senior developers know something, because based on the experience, and able to provide some context on that, right? So, and then even the senior also not aware on this, and then every developers definitely know about Stack Overflow. So times in previous years, so we use Stack Overflow, and then we will try to get the response, because a lot of developers in see the solution in the Stack Overflow, right? That's what happened. So the data is huge, like the whatever the data which is right now in the internet, that was huge, and then you can't able to unimagine as well, right? Because in world there is a millions of developers are there. Everyone will post something in the internet, so you have the tons of data. So to process this itself, you need a specific hardware. So in previous years, that was not using the modern graphics processor. So the thing is like, you can able to, but the core is very long. That's what it takes years to process this. But like in Nvidia has recently launched, imagine, 20% is doing the calculations parallelly, and then they are providing the results to you. So that's a huge, right? So just second scale, the billions of code using this. And then the third thing which I'm trying to cover is the algo. So even though if it is able to success, the main part which everyone was stuck in, what to give some real time example. Four 5 years back, right? So you are just providing some content, and I'm saying to my friend, like, I'm going to New Zealand for my vacation, and then he's providing the response. Okay, after 2 minutes or something, whatever the context which I'm saying to, I said to him, like, he's going to forget, right? So be active for small range, so you will be not active for long range context, that information. So because of this, we are not able to do a lot actually. So for example, and then I'm just asking, what is the relations, can you filter any params in the document, so that, like, if you provide, it will provide you full long range relationship of that context. So it will, uh, that's what this algorithm comes into the place, and then using this relationship as well. So that's what produce. So chat gpt, a lot of new AI text is comes because of this. So what I'm trying to say is, hardwares on your place, so any developers can play with the AI, and then they can able to play with, like, play with billions of datas as well, which is comes from the lot of text, a lot of tech stacks is there, and then you have a lot of data, billions of data, some issues which is related to Java contents is there in the market, right? So you are able to play with billions of datas, so that you can play with that. And then third is, you are able to have a long range relationship as well, between you, the core pillar, which I want to cover. And then, so this is what, like, overall, if you see today, I have a lot of data from the internet. Okay, I can able to process that using my hardware, and then I am able to long range relationship as well. So these are the three pillars which you guys able to try to make process it. So this is what a simple example. So how AI can without help of like our humans. So the first thing is like how we learn to debug. Like let's take, so this is the one of the example I'm trying to bring here. So let's take example S0 C7 in mainframe, right? So it's kind of like a data exception error, right? So here as a fresher, so I am facing these issues. So it nearly 4 hours to fix this, and then if I am not able to, I will check with my senior, and then he will also provide the solutions. He will try to help person who is very good at that, right? And then this will nearly take me 4 hours to fix. And then coming to the second year, this is the fifth time I'm just trying to fix it. Knowledge, like you are able to like identify the patterns in the sense, okay, so if the S07 comes, okay, I know this is a data exception issues, and then I know a little bit more on that, and then I am able to fix the solution within 1 hour. So patterns on that specific problem. And then after that, I'm just coming into the next also trying to fix the solution regularly. And then the fifth year, when you are having these issues, you are able to solve within 15 minutes, right? So now you have the pattern, plus you also know about the relationship. Like if I do some if I try to modify this any program relate, I mean, which is causing these issues, what is going to be affect the other program, and then that program is going to other affect other programs. So this entire relationships you are able to understand because you're a little bit master on that, right? So in initial years you are able to fix fires, now you are able to fix this issue within a 15 minutes. That's the a good thing, right? So and then the 10th year you are solved a lot of issues which is related to the specific specific code, right? And then you are in a master of it. So actually able to fix within 5 minutes. Okay, so the what we are learning here is like your brain is somehow it's trying to understand the pattern and understand the specific code, and then it is trying to store all these things on your brain, right? So that's what so so here what is the difference between here is, here if you see we are use the word called training. Okay, so here if you see I'm the AI. Okay, so I'm going to read millions of COBOL programs with S0C this pattern S0C7 patterns. So able to get this context from the Stack Overflow, because Stack Overflow will have a lot of data. Any developers will come, I am facing this issue, so what is the fix for that? So they will come and put this issue, so I can try to understand the patterns which is related to the specific fix. And then coming to this thing, next thing is it will also read millions of fix examples and code corrections. So for this so what are the solutions we can able to apply here? Like, so that entire context will be available in the market, right? It will also have millions of dump analysis discussions and docs. So IBM is also solve this patterns. So I am going to introduce a new version, right? And then the new version, some new issues going to be happen because of this new release or something like that. So entire thing you will able to receive it from the internet. Okay, so here if you see saving the pattern on your brain, okay, and then here you are saving this entire thing on on the machine. So this, and here you are trying to read on your own, like you are reading the code on your own, and then you are trying to fetch all the information from that. But here you are reading the entire content from the internet. Okay, so now you guys able to understand the previous pillar which I, the internet and the data which is available from anywhere, like internet or any company can able to provide, because a lot of companies right now is emerging to provide this things and all. So this is what it's going to be trained, and then how you are going to process this data, you are able to going to, so that's what Nvidia, a lot of companies there, right? So they are the new graphic processor which is come now, right? They are able to process a lot of calculations, and then within a of code. So that's what the power of hardware. So this is what second thing, and then now whatever the memory text is available to AI. So machine will have all the information, and then when I'm asking okay, I'm having the I'm encountering this issue, can you please fix this, and then AI will know complete context behind the scenario. So okay, so I know this is S0 issues, and then I try to provide the solution because I know the amount of context, everything I have so far read it from the internet. So this only thing is AI just does it at scale no human can match. So for example, I'm come from Java background, so like I worked on lot of things in Java related area. So if area, so I will not able to I mean explain that thing. But if you ask me it in a Java, but here if you see, I am having only knowledge which is specific to Java background. That's what it is. But I have the knowledge in mainframe as well, but not compared to the Java. That good memory, my scenario. But here Bob will not have. I mean, not I'm saying Bob. Any chat assistant will not able to do that, right? So they have data at a very high scale. So any specific code it is able to train, and then the data will be very you give any problem in Java, it able to do it because I have the Java complete knowledge in Java. If you provide any issues which is related to the mainframe, I have the complete context behind the mainframe. So I'm able to provide this. Okay, so just so that's what the real power of AI. So AI, we can able to train a lot of things. For example, I am going to create one applications called airline applications. So for that, what data I need? So I need the data related to airlines something, right? So that the data, how who is going to provide? So that's the first job you need to do. And then second thing is you need to train that data, and then your model needs to. So that's the second thing. And then third is you have trained all these things. Now, if you provide to the chat, I mean, the chat assistant AI will provide you the response back because it is having the complete context. So you can ask like how, when is the, like how many employees so far you are having in that airline. So it's have the context of the data. So it can able to provide you the complete summary of that. So that's what the real power. Okay. So here, like, what does this means? Because a lot of people are thinking like AI is going to replace the mainframe developers, and then a lot of it's not for only for the mainframe developers, it's for us as well. I mean, everyone has so everyone is coming to you, you will not you are going to lose the job because AI is going to occupy that. That's not the case here. Like so. What it basically it's going to be we will say is like the AI can make the mainframe developer more productive. So that's what the term. So we are whatever the AI, it's not going to replace mainframe developers, but the whatever the work which which we are doing, right? So that is going to be more productive with help of AI. So that's the means. So you guys will ask like what AI is going to help for mainframe. So that's what the main thing. So it's going to make the mainframe more productive. So I will give some examples here. Like let's take this example, like any understand, any legacy program. Like, let's take one example. Like I'm having, four documents. It will try to read the COBOL file, and then it will try to understand what are the paragraphs, the tables involved in it, what is the business logic. And then this chat will provide this response within the context of that COBOL file. So that's really huge, right? So developer which is not related to mainframe, I want to understand this. So you need to learn COBOL first, and then you need to learn copybooks, a lot of things you need. So, I can simply ask into the chat, and then I can, that's the power. Here you are debug without reading them. So for example, I face a lot of issues related to this, not actually previously. So at 2 a.m. someone called me, and then they will ask like, we have a production issue, we need to be fixed within 1 to 2 hours. So that like they will be mentioned to me, and then suddenly I need to wake up, and then I need to be work on it, and then I need to identify the issue first, and then I try to understand what is the problem here, and then what is the root cause we need to be apply, and then into the picture at that within a short, uh, because a lot of the uh, what, but right now you are facing some issues in the production at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., something like that, right? So I can easily able to understand with the help of AI. So I can simply provide the complete dumb. I mean, it provided the summary. What is the issue? What root cause it need, and then what solutions we can try. And also, it's provide like a lot of options as well. So that's really great, because at that point of time we will be out of some options, because we will be more focused on something to provide the solution, because I mean service is important, right? So but here the AI will try to understand it. It will provide more options area. And the third is change with confidence. So I am the developer, okay. So I'm the new fresher developer, okay. I'm coming into the picture, and then I'm trying to change anything in the doing this change. It's going to be affect other changes or not, right? So fresher, I am not aware. So again, my senior developer comes into the picture, and they will try to understand everything, and they will guide me lot of things. But I will lose the confidence, because I'm going to lose the confidence, because I don't know how it is going to impact others, right? So, and then this variable is going to use by other models, or I mean other modules or not. So that aware on that part, right? So here the AI is change with confidence, even though if you're going to change something, right? So that's going to impact others. A bunch of context which is available in your workspace right now. That's and then it will provide you with a summary. Like if you change this, it is going to impact others, and then
Hey,
and then
yeah, spent about 30 minutes. Okay, so if you want to,
okay,
okay, thanks.
okay. Here, like I'm just trying to give the productive things, like understanding 4,000. It will take 12 hours, so I can finish within the AI within a So skills A07, right? So A0C7. So it will in the AI era, so you can able to fix that problem. So this is what I'm just trying to provide some little bit knowledge in the AI and how it's going to be more productive. Let me move to the next part, LLM and the types of AI. So what does mean by the LLM? Like, model, I would say, like this is a AI. Okay, so basically, whatever the memory which we are going to store it in the model as well. So it will try to. And then the second is why it terms large in the sense because it's going to learn billions of training words, right? So the data is very, very huge. That's what they added the large. The tokens part. So maybe I will try to show something. So everyone is using the Copilot, any other AI chat, I hope. So let's take like I'm just providing like what is the capital of something like you know France or something. So this is the world, right? How model not see the data in the form of basically it will read entire things in the machine language. So it will try to read. So if you see here, what is the capital of France? This is the my natural language. But if you try to visualize the token, each is the token, that is the token, the capital of his token. Okay, so what does mean by that language model essence? Like it's going to predict the so far trained. For example, how we will be, let me try to give more example. Anything. It's showing like this. Sorry. Let me open it anything like here it is there already there. Okay, let's take this example maybe. Okay, so for example, uh, I am having this data, okay, but we are able to understand this letter is 3, and then this letter is also 3, and this letter is also 3, and then this letter is understand this letter of 3, but this is not a correct 3, right? So this is the correct 3, correct? So basically, the model, what it will do, model, what it will do, so whatever the data you are trying to provide, it will try to predict the next output tokens. Like, okay, if I am provide this 3, then the next output token value is 3. So that's what model will try to calculate the value for you. So here, this whatever this things, it is called like a tokens. So you are able to find the what is the next predictable tokens. If you ask like this question, what is the capital of France? So what LLM will do, it will try to find the near token, and then it will have the context on your zone, and then that is also it's going to so it will say. So if you're typing anything in the chat, you are able to see the context. Like here, this is the so far tokens calculating. Okay, and then everyone is using all um, for this tokens. These are the tokens which see the cost. Everything is free, like ChatGPT and then Claude also they are providing some amount of data free, but in future it will be not going to be look like that. So everything will be a cost using, right? So here I used 8 tokens. Okay, for 8 tokens, it is costing me this amount actually in if you use this model, and then for ChatGPT 5.5 Pro, if you use this model and then you are asking this of data, I mean this cost of, from your pocket, just like so it is having 19. Based on that, it will show you the number of amount which is going to be. This is what this tokens are really going to be play a huge role in AI world. So that's what I want to cover. So this is the small piece. Piece is used from the model, and then okay, I'm coming back to. Okay, the next part is the context window. So what does mean by this context windows? So this is what I talked about this, so this is our chat actually. Similarly, you guys are able to see other chat assistants as well. So the context window in the sense, so whatever you are, like, hi, I'm Tiago. So what, okay, so and then it is asking. So if again, I'm asking what is my name, because now we are providing this context to the Bob. So now the LLM will understand our entire context. If I ask this again, now LLM will already know my name, so it is going to provide. But if I'm asking it initially, like what is my name, like simple like this, because it's not have any context. So here, if you see, I don't have any information about your name. So this is what the context window. So context window in the sense, whatever you are doing in the chat, right? So whatever you are providing the context, this context will be only available of the window. So if I give the name, that will be added into the chat context, and that is able to provide the response back to me. But if I have any information, so in this chat, this will play a huge role. I will talk about more on upcoming slides. And the next is training. So this is the term which is used in the AI world. So training in the sense you are going to teach the model to train the billions of data or millions of data. So that's what the training. And then the inference is the term which is used for to answer the questions. Uh, like I have the tokens. I can use the inference to get own models like IBM Granite model. So you guys also want to know about the models. Uh, like I will give one more. So okay. So if you see, there is a tons of, so but everyone don't, they are not aware what this model is trying to solve. Okay, for example, I'm the I'm the model, like I am only have the Java knowledge. I am not able to answer the mainframe related knowledge, so it will not answer it. So it will only Java related things. It is not having the content which is related to the mainframe, right? So it will only provide you the response back to which if you ask any something related to the Java. Yeah. So for example, here a lot of new models will come into the picture. So let me try to open any one model like this one. This is the one of the model. Represent something like where is the descriptions here? They're not added the description, I guess. For one shot, long shot use case. So they are having some components to be worked on it. So similar separate model to process the graphical related content. They have the different model. So for it will have a lot of models, well, right? So they have a lot of models. So here, if you see Sonnet 5, Haiku, Fabe, The fable means what any toughest challenge if you have, you can able to switch to this model, and then if you ask the question, if you ask it in the Haiku 4.5, it will not provide you the good response. And then if you want, then you can use the Sonnet 5. If you want to really use Haiku 4.5 model. So the model is specifically trained on that specific data. Okay, so I'm saying like IBM Granite. So this is our model which we have trained only specific for. So this is the sixth concept which I want to share. So the main thing which you guys understand is what is the model, and then what is the token, how token is playing in the model area, and then what is mean by the context window, and then what is the how we like what are the data which is available to the specific model and how we can play with that. So this six concept is really required. Agentic AI part. So like they are confused between these two terms. Example, and I will provide you the a simple example to understand. Let's take like Gen AI in the sense you are providing you are asking the response back to you. Okay, no further actions AI will taken. For example, I am asking convert this Excel into a PPT. So I'm just providing one task. AI will do it. After that, AI will not provide any answer for that. So okay, so Gen AI is like kind of like a passive one, will return back to you with a one shot. So you, let's take example like maybe you can take an example of a Tesla car. Okay, so what it will do? So it is automatically driving your car and path, right? So everything else will take care by the Bob, right? Correctly. First, see the straight and back. So is automatically doing his job on his own, like and then if something anything else comes into the front, so you are to the AI. The AI is doing all these things for you. So this is kind of like an agent, right? So you this car is now looks like an agent. So this is without your help, it is doing on its own on with this help actually. So here what I'm saying is like in agentic AI, whatever you are providing in the chat, it will automatically do everything on its own. So I want to explain, I want to, provide some summary of this COBOL file. That's what I'm providing. What it will do, it will try to read the file, and then it will try to, ask this summary, like you want to see it from developer's perspective or architect perspective. It will ask the questions, you will reply that, and then it will try to do all on its own, and then come and at finally it will provide. This will act like a one shot, but this is not acts like a one shot. It will try to complete your goal until it is complete. So this is what the agent loop. The first thing is, it will try to first analyze the situation. So situation in the sense it will think what is the context of what the user has provided to do. So it will try to do, and then it will provide you the context in the to-do list. Yes, it's going to plan like if I want to do convert something from PPT to like XLSX. So what is the step I need to do? I need to convert this from to JSON, and then JSON I can ask the summary. More we can add. So it will try to decide what we need to do, next, and then Bob will break the task into several steps, and then it will put a planning summary to you. And then the third is the act. Like I will cover a lot of tools in the upcoming slides, but act in the sense whatever the steps which is mentioned in the Bob, right? So it is trying to use the tool and then it will provide you the summary. And then final is the observe. So once the summary is also there, the result is also available. Bob again, it will try to see the result. It's correct or not. So it's trying to observe what it has been so far produced, and then it try to see everything is achieved correctly or not. And then that's the thing it will do. So if something is not achieved, then again it will run in a loop phase. So this is what is an agentic loop. So it will try to cover everything until its success. Okay, so I will stop here so that I will going to cover IBM Bob after this. Any doubts on this so far? And I think Senthil, they will speak, or how is it like? They will put in.
Thought somebody raised the hand. I'm trying. Somebody raises their hand, I can unmute them. So they can ask the question.
Okay, cool. Cool. Nothing else. Yeah, I will try to move into the next area, software development. Okay. What is software development? Like the art which we know. So basically, I am a developer. Like, what is my software development life cycle? I need to be start from the
Hey,
scratch to the.
I'm going to let the people ask some questions.
Okay, cool.
So Surya, can you go ahead? Naren, I'll unmute you.
Yeah. Hi, Senthil. Hi,
Yes.
Tyagu.
Yeah.
So basically, I have started right now. So
Mhm.
I yeah. So few question I want to ask. So first question is I have like a context window, as you mentioned that context window
Right.
will be there
Right.
for yeah. So there is a portion which says that we have a limit on tokens.
Right.
Okay, some tokens are like 200k
Correct.
and 300k, right? It depends. So once my context window is full, means
Right.
I use that uh, all credits.
Correct. Correct.
So what
Right.
happens then? What happens basically after completing basically
Okay, so once you breach this context, right? So it's going to go into the concept called context condensing. So what right now the chat assistant will do is like it is going to remove the context from the which is not used so far in the chat, and then it is going to remove that, and then it will a lot of problems will comes into the picture. I will asking a large COBOL file handling, and then if you ask explanation, right? So it is not going to load the complete context because it cannot able to do that. Let's take example like 30K programs, okay?
yes,
And then the context window is going to breach definitely. So you will not get the complete summary of that. So the AI chat will break. So that's what all other chat assistant is trying to spend more investigation on this context window. And then IBM Bob is also doing that. I will show you.
sure.
Thank you.
And one more question
Mhm.
regarding MCP and skills.
Right.
Means yeah. So uh, are you going to show us how MCPs and
Right. I'm
skills?
going to cover this. Yeah.
Okay, Naren, you want to go?
Yeah. Hi. Maybe this is a very layman question regarding the Bob solving about the production events. Am I audible?
Yeah, Naren.
Yeah, you are.
How we are going to use the existing files in the production? Suppose if a job has been abandoned in the production, and
Mhm.
that our Bob, how it will access the production input file, output file to see the data that this is the reason which is causing the issue. For that, how we are going to deal how we are going to access those input files or output files, and how we are going to get these permissions and all those things. And and program can be downloaded in the US code, I know, but how these things can be handled?
Yeah, I'll attempt it. And if I say something wrong. So, Naren, I would say, right, as an IBM file manager, today has an MCP tool. And we do hope that our competition will also do that. Once you have an MCP tool to access manager, then Bob also has the same access as you. Okay. From a access perspective, it still uses your ACF ID, so RACF2 or whatever you use.
Okay.
So that is not changed. None of that is changed. It's still you are the one who is asking. It is acting on behalf of you. So if you have access to the file, Bob has access to the file.
Based on our user ID credentials, it will work.
Yeah. And how does it understand things like COM3? That is file manager's task. So file manager understands that you want to access this file. Bob will come back and say, hey, I have to read this file, but I don't know the copy book. Tell me the copy book. You give the copy book. Then it uses the copy book, tells file manager that, hey, this is the file, and the information out of this. And I know from fault analyzer, the fault analyzer has an MCP, will have an MCP tool. A lot of this is still in like development to an extent, right? Fault analysis MCP tool will say, oh, that line number 20 is where the failure happened. So now Bob will go to file manager and say, hey, in this input file using this copy book, I want to understand what is line number 20. In that, I want to understand what is the field value, a 10th field's value, because that seems to be should have been numeric and has a string, and that is why it failed.
The answer to this question is that at like a superior level, like you, I have not tried, but at a layman point of time, I tried to prepare a thing like to review all the events which has previously occurred in the SharePoint.
Right.
I have written a small agent, but it doesn't give the results to this thing. Like I followed the approach like it is reading all the events which are in the SharePoint, and it is going to the input file and output file. But it, I mean, as a developer, we know, right? We have completed this. The point.
Yeah. So again, many of this is still in development, right? We do know how this will completely done today, right? And the other challenges, mainframe shops are so customized that whatever solutions that vendors like us provide, we will have to look at whether it still works in a particular shop. They might have a. You're right, in the sense that products that are available on the market off the shelf, if you take something and plug it in and then expect it to fix a bend, that is nowhere there. But the work is clearly being done, and want to do that is very clear on what we want to do. And then with Zoe, with VS Code, with Bob, and then with MCP tools, we today have access to mainframe resources. There is no wall between this agentic AI and the mainframe. That wall is broken. Now what is pending is maybe some roads are missing. You have to put a small road here so that you connect those. But that's what it is.
So 1 second, using Zoe and VS Code, you can directly fetch the spool area, right? You can directly touch the spool area, like weaving the.
We can do it.
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, that if you have the information, you can pull it from the Zoe, and then you can adding to that the document recording to provide more content to the chat so that it will try to solve the problem. So yeah, that's already in the progress.
So this Bob we can use in our other organization also. I mean, like, is it available?
Customers have to buy it from IBM, but yeah, we have something called Premium Package for Z that includes all the Z specific capabilities with Bob, and that is
Last two questions because I need to cover a lot of things. Yeah, next one, Senthil.
Hi, Taigo.
Hi.
So, this is Naren here. So, if I want to connect IBM Granite to VS Code, is there any possibility for me to do that? Do we have any provision for this?
Our strategy today is Bob. So Bob is a fork of VS Code. Our strategy today is Bob. So Bob in the backend decides which LLM to use, because we really don't think we should ask the developer to sit and think, am I going to ask a hard question or a simple question? Should I use the larger, a complex LLM or a simple LLM kind of thing? So Bob makes the decisions for you, and then it uses Granite in the backend. But as of today, we don't have in the developer space, we don't have an offering that open LLM. So if somebody wants to pride in their own shop in their own risk, that you can do. But in the sense of IBM's offerings, today it is only Bob, and Bob has the Granite in the backend, but it is not exposed to the developer. It is used when it is the right thing to use at the right place.
So
So
this is
Bob gives.
open.
So you mean to say that something like Bob gives the not? Is that so?
Correct.
So that's
Bob has
the
a set of LLMs and it decides which one to use based on what your query's complexity is, and
that's the one of the strategy which we are taking, Naren. For example,
Uh-huh.
today's in a real life, everyone is using chat and they don't know which one, right? So they will simply use the premium models for all the daily task itself, and then it is going to consume a lot of cost from their pocket, right? So but here we are not doing like that. So in the behind the scenario, we are doing whatever the task the user is providing, right? So which model is capable? So we are not providing the options that
down to the exactly what we want actually, right?
correct.
Instead of
To you, Marul, like as well. I mean, if you want to play, you can download the IBM Granite model and then you can play with that in open, because focusing on, as Senthil mentioned, we're more focusing on the Bob, because that Granite model will be only specific for handling the mainframes, right? So, but in today's world, a lot of people will using others as well, right? So we are
thanks.
Hey, in the interest of time, right? I think we should let Jao continue, and then I'm going to answer the questions. I see a set of questions in the chat. I'm going to keep answering the questions, and then others who have raised their hand, you can keep the hand. Yeah, you also have to go a little more faster. Sorry,
Senthil, I will go. So the thing is, like, the next one I want to cover this pair programming. So what does mean by the pair program, which is really so let's take this example. So you are the developer, right? And then some simple task, and then I'm going to send the review to the my senior because he need to approve it, and then if again I will try to work on it, and then again I need to send it to the senior, and then senior send the. In today's world, how the pair programming is work is like, let's take I'm the developer, I'm just doing, and then someone behind me that is who's called navigator, right? And able to say like that, so that person is going to tell me, okay, while I'm doing itself, okay, you are doing you are doing wrong actually, so this code changes is not going to be work, so doing these things as well. So that's what the pair programming, so that's a so for laptop, I am the person, I'm writing the code. While I'm writing the code itself, observer will say like, you are writing wrong code, please fix it. Okay, that's one feature. And then second is this is of course it's going to be used for all other AIs. chat assistant. This is going to be available for 24/7, and then it's going to be cost effective scaling. So our strategy is like more focus on cost cutting process. Someone asked about the model switching, right? So that's we are focusing on how we can cut the cost there, like, so because a lot of people are using the model of that model, so they need to they don't worry about that. So we behind the scenario, we will take care of everything. So it will try to cut the welcoming Bob. Okay, so the thing here which you guys really want to think is like the most thing is, if you use the Bob, right, so it will make your effective faster, and then you will be very confident when you are writing the code. And then the main motto for Bob is problem as an enterprise level. So right now, no one is in solving this enterprise level, like from the end to end, how I need to fix it and how I need to ship and then we are more focusing on cutting the cost as well to the users. So this is the software development life cycles. If you see your intent, and then how Bob will analyze your code intelligent is behind the scenario, and what is the task you are providing. So that will capable to understand your code intelligently, and then it will provide you the clean task list as well, which is Bob is going to do. That will be very crystal clear. So I'm going to cover more in upcoming sessions. So I will skip this one because I'm going to share a lot of things there. And then this already I mentioned, this an enterprise grade capabilities, like automate. What is my intelligent code refactoring options from the Java modernization area as well. So if you can easily able to transform the code from I mean not transform the code, like modernize the Java way with that. And then so why we need to choose Bob is like it accelerates the development life cycle, reduces the technical debt. So when saying accelerate development life cycles, it will not hallucinate a lot like other chat assistants. So it will try to generate the list, provide you the complete task to execute. And then technical depth in the sense which I mentioned, if something is changing and then we doesn't know what is going to be affect the others, right? So this Bob will handling really good in this area. And specific developers, like because developers are very vast, right? So some are architect and some of them are related to product managers or related area. So we are empowering this thing so that it will be easily accessible for all the persons who are going to use the Bob. And then next thing is consistent code quality and coding standards, because no one is following the coding right now, because they don't know about what coding to do that. So I will provide you I will show you the demo at the end. So these are the software development lifecycle, which is in the Bob. So I'm just sharing I'm going fast, guys, because I want to share demo videos that's really huge. So yeah, if something is really not able to understand, yeah, you can put in the chat. So far, like Senthil will try to address everything, or we can discuss in the last. This is as I mentioned initially, the 4,000 undocumented code and everything with a good summary. I mean, I will not say good, we have very high level summary within a 2 minutes with the help of POPs. That's the productivity which is increased like 360x. So that's the thing. And then the second is so I mean, we are also using the IBM Bob. So internally, like a lot of IBMs are started to use things. So nearly it's 20K users are still there. So everyone's have mentioned like the average productivity is increased a lot. So I mean, write the code completely, even the one file, single file. So that much productivity which is Bob has provided to us. The next thing is like 5 days to 2 hours. So if I am just providing something like adding new field or something, Bob able to understand the what are the with Bob and without Bob. So we have so the summary which is generated from the Copilot or any other things, and then we have seen the good quality like us. So in Bob, I will going to cover all about Z as well. So whatever the content which is comes from there, it's really having good quality. So because I used a lot of AI tools, so I really impressed with the Bob how it is handling. So I will talk about the core concepts. The first concept is the modes. You guys will able to see this chat, and then here if you guys are uh, able to see this is an things. Okay, so what does mean by that? Like this modes are generally like the behavior for that model. Okay, so this is the model I'm having. Okay, so I need to set the tone for this chat actually. So for example, um, this chat, I am the mainframe developer. So whatever the question I am asking, okay, that I need the response only related to mainframe area. Okay, because same word can be used in different domain, like hallucinated, right? So I need to set the behavior to the AI. Okay, so this chat, okay, so whatever the context which I am trying to provide, okay, so that content is only related to mainframe, and then back only related to this mainframe area. So that's are the modes. So here if you as ask mode and then plan mode and then agent mode. So when I'm saying this ask mode, it will do only this this behavior is this only read and explain the code and provide you the answers. It will not do any write operations or any calculations or this kind of operations. It will not do. This mode behavior is whatever the file you are going to provide. I am going to simply explore, and I am going to provide you the summary of that. That's the behavior of this mode. So but from this, it will not do that stuff. And what does mean by the plan? Anything. So basically, whatever the content, example, I want to convert, not do any implement it. Okay, so finally, this is an agent mode. So agent mode in the sense it is there. It will try to read it. It will try to write it, and then it will do a lot of steps. So why it is more useful the behavior, otherwise LLM will hallucinate a lot. Okay, so that's the main reason you guys want to remember that. So if I am going to be working Z related stuff, I will select this Z code C architect, and then I want to work with other modes like Java domain. So you need to select the Java mode. So then I can set the context. Okay, this chat does only work for Java. If I give any mainframe, it will not work for that. So that's the mode use case. So basically, it's a behavior. And then coming to the next thing is you guys need to understand the role wise as well. So what is mean by system role? What does the mean by user role? Because some of them is so let's take here example like system role. System role in the sense, I'm just setting the context to the this chat. Okay, so um, setting the context in the sense I am the Java expert. So anything which is related to Java. So that like I am setting the context, right? So that's the system role. Okay. So, and then here I'm asking what is my name. Okay, so this is asking from my side. So that is me. So that is the user role. Okay, and then that's providing the response. That is AI is providing the back. Role is since this complete context role. Okay, and then this user role is whatever the questions which you are asking and you are providing any instructions that is related to the user role. And then what is the information which is coming from the Bob, I mean Bob in the AI chat, that will be goes under the you know assistant role. So how this role work together? System set the rule once, and then user send a task, and then assistant response, and then user refines the assistant response. So this will comes under the loop. So the role you guys need to remember it. And then coming to the prompts. So I think you need to prepare prompts very good, because otherwise LLM will hallucinate prompts. There's a lot of ways is there. I'm going to only provide some examples here, like question prompts, like that's a question. Okay, so I am just only asking the information to the Bob. So you need to provide this information. Otherwise, something like instead of asking like this, what is S07 like that, something. If you ask like that, it will provide the question. 7 means or something like that. It will try to hallucinate a lot, and then it will provide a different answer as well. And then more, you need to provide more information. Be having a lot of context, like it will be in mainframe. Lot of other technologies also use this keyword. Maybe happen, I don't know, but LLM will have a possibility to hallucinate. You need to provide correct prompts, like what does S07 in mainframe, what it is doing. Instruction is you are doing something to the Bob, like add this code, so it will do this things ground before you are doing some task. For example, like I am saying like this is the Kicks online program, not just some optimization. So here, if you see, I'm providing some backgrounds here. If I'm not provide the backgrounds, it may treat this Kicks application as a batch application or batch application. So it tried to hallucinate. So the prompts which you guys need to provide, that one needs to be very strict, because if you provide very strict, right, so LLM will understand, and then it will provide you the response, whatever the instruction which you mentioned to that. And then the multi-step, so instead of one by one, you can provide multi-step like this, like add customer and then update these things, and then modify DB2 instant, add to export. So you can able to provide this as in a multi-step prompts as well, so that this will be added to the task list, so that it will be executed one by one. So what is meant by the context? This is what I mentioned in information which is sharing between the sessions. Everything will be session history. So every message you and Bob have exchanged in the sessions, that will be stored in the context conversation history. So that will be acts like a context. And then the file and the project structure. So if you are asking, try to read a file from the workspace, Bob will try to read the file, and then it will provide you the context back to you. But it's reading the file, and then that file content will be loaded into the chat history. That because if you provide that content, then only LLM will understand and providing the information, right? So that entire file so some of them will think like context will be not able to aware it, but behind the scenario, that's not true. So if you are reading the file, that context going to be loaded to the chat, and then all the informations will be added into the context window. And then this environmental tools, it is also able to understand like what is the git status, and then what is the OS which you are using. So from Bob itself, you can simply ask, it will try to connect using some MCP tools. I will cover this MCP tools in upcoming. So yeah, don't, if you're not aware, that's fine. Yeah, this is the MCP tools. Like what does mean by MCP? So you know about REST API and a lot of API kind of things, right? So the MCP is the protocol, like back um, I am the one machine. I want to connect to the other machine, so I need some communication. So previous way, how it works, and it use a lot of API kind of like it's a way to connect from one machine to that machine. I'm just trying to provide in a very high level. So this MCP is kind of like we can able to connect one AI to other AI. So able to connect with any other agent as well. Like I am able to connect GitHub. So that's the thing they are having, and then I am able to connect to their Jira server. So basically, so this chat, right? What are the tasks which is assigned to me? Jira is kind of like a task assigning features. So if you see here, I'm simply ask this, but that is available in the Jira, right? So if you want to connect from this chat A agent to that specific agent, you need to connect some bridge, right? You need to have a bridge. Then only you are able to connect from here to there. So MCP MC Jira, and then you can able to collect all the information from there to here. For example, let's to GitHub or something, any other tech stack. So you can able to connect from easily able to connect from here. So let's take for mainframe example. So I want to connect to Zuvi. So I can easily able to connect to the Zuvi from chat itself. Now I want to get the data get the data sets from the mainframe. So I can easily able to get the data sets from mainframe from the chat itself. So that's the power of MCP. Lot of tools are there. So these are the tools like for file operations, the read file, write file, insert content. So these are the tools. So whenever I'm going to use, I'm going to read the file, I'm going to use this tool so that it will read the file from the my local workspace. And then this is the search and discovery. For example, if you're going to search some file in your workspace, that's going to almost take a lot of time because your workspace will have tons of files or something. So it will try to fasten your searching mechanism. It uses regex behind the scenario. So instead of reading 1 lakh files on your workspace, it will try to read only specific files, and then it will try to get the response. And then this code and analysis, like I'm going to cover in this is in upcoming slides. And then this is what I'm going to say, this MCP server. So for example, I want to connect with any DB2 or something. So you can easily able to uh, connect with DB2 tables using the MCP server, and then you can get the tables from there to here. So you can do a lot of steps using this. And then the tool safety. So in the Bob, we are also added one of the we are restricting because if you see this command execution layer and all, it is kind of like violating the securities, right? Because the hackers will easily able to attack your system. They can provide anything, any malicious. So whenever we are using some modes or something, right? So we can restrict this tool to for not using, like, because uh, Z world. Okay, so that will be very restricted area, right? So if I in that area, I can easily providing access to the mainframes, and then my mainframe will be hacked. Like, so we are going to restrict the tools. If you're entering into the Z area, so whatever the tools which we are having, that will be very safe. That tools only visible to the user. So other tools will be not able to access by the user. So we are providing the tool safety there. So coming through the skills are kind of like a specialist knowledge on demand. For example, you are in convert these things from PPT to Excel or something. Okay, so what it will do, it will basically it will try to convert this entire things to you, right? So but it may be hallucinate, right? So the skills are the set of instructions. Okay, so instructions in the sense, after this step what you need to do, after this step what you need. Okay, anything which you are typing in the chat, this will follow the steps. For example, if I want to download the data sets and I want to process it in the local, so Okay, so any information which is using in this chat, okay, please, for example, I want to, download the from mainframe. So this is the information I'm providing. So basically, it will not now hallucinate. What it will do, skills will have, right? So it basically it will try to, okay, so the first thing I to download the data set from the mainframe to local. And then once I have the file from the local, and then I'm going to provide you the summary. So that specific informations will be available in the skill. So let me show you some coding. I mean, these are the one of the skills which we have developed. Let's take here coding standard skills. So this is comes under like here the skills folder, and then here the skills file. So here if you see when to apply the skills, okay, so COBOL file, or they are going to review existing program, or they are going to refactoring the code. I'm giving any context related to the triggered, and then what it will. Okay, so here just every program, COBOL program must open with border command block beginning at command. So it have the instructions to follow that. So any COBOL file which is going to be generate, it is going to follow the principles. So there's a lot of steps are there. So any new COBOL file is going to generate, it will follow these steps. So that's the skill power here. So I am going to I'm not allowing AI to hallucinate. I am providing the set of instructions to chat, so that chat will follow that. Okay, so there is a lot of built-in skills are there. Here itself, if you see, I mean, built-in a lot of inbuilt skills. So that will be not visible in here, but it is having here. So I will show you the demo. So there you guys are able to see it. And then how skills will activate, I mentioned it. If something I provided the instructions in the chat context, it will automatically call you the skill. And then the custom skills, you can able to create custom skills as well. For example, I'm going to document this process or something. So I want to create the skill for document this process. So that skills you can send it to your colleagues as well, so that any prompt they are also trying to provide in the chat, that will follow the set of instructions. And then so if you see with this, it will be guaranteed. Okay, but without skill, if you see, AI can hallucinate. Okay, so let's let's think of like skills kind of like a small run it, and then it will not allow the AI to hallucinate. So I will show you the coding standards in the demo, so that will be real. And then this workflows, workflows is kind of like it's almost able to customize everything in between, but in statements which you are providing, that's going to be work exactly whatever we are having the basically for example, to convert this PPT to XLS, we don't want user to handle everything on its own. So we know we don't want to ask any instructions from user, right? So we can directly we have been driven. And then this is already I have been covered. Okay, so far I have covered all the core features. What is mean by MCP, and then what is mean by skills, and then what is mean by the workflows, and then what is mean by modes. So you can able to see all these things here. So this is the modes, and then this is the permissions which I'm mentioning about. So you can select anything. Like for example, if I provide the options to execute, so it will automatically approve and provide. If I'm not ask the user to provide the permission. So these are the parts, and then this is the modes which I already covered in it. And then this is the context. And then to skills part, for custom skills, you can do like this. So you can create one new folder skills, and then you can put your skills file here. So I will try to cover. So you don't need to create the skills on your own. So we have a specific set of commands to do that. Okay, so these are the core features, which is I want overall try to cover. So these are the, yeah, I need to 1 minute. I'm trying to log in and I'll show you the workflows as well. Able to see the workflows. Able to see the workflows like this so that you can play with that. So that's the Bob core features. Let me try to cover the premium package. So we have two modes. One is architect mode and then Z code mode. The architect mode in the sense like you are going to plan something. So this is specific for like specific for architectures because like architectures as well as like it will be supposed to be used for any other product managers as well. Like they want to understand the applications, they can simply use this mode. Basically, what this mode it will provide you, right? It will try to plan and analyze the modernized applications or before implementations. So before you are doing implementation, so I want to get a complete overall plan. Uh, like if I fact it's going to be cost, and then if I'm related components which is involved in here, and then what is the rollback plan if it is not worked, and then what is the risk here. Everything you can able to achieve in this Z architect mode. And then I'm going to cover a Z code mode. So basically, once you prepare the plan and then you have the complete picture overall so far you have, then you Z code mode is kind of like you can able to explain the COBOL, and then you can generate to reduce the complexity. And then we also have the options to transform the code from COBOL to Java. So basically, these two modes are specific for Z features. It will definitely improve the productivity, and then it will going to accelerate delivery. And then the main thing is we are trying to focus more on the quality areas. So you will guys see this in right now. So yeah, I would say this is the application use case in Z architect mode. This is the key things which you guys need to understand. Okay, so someone asked like if something is going to if I'm giving a large COBOL frame and then the context is going to breach, what it is going to be happen. That's exact to the picture that try to solve the problem. So as I mentioned initially, so application metadata text our insights business value. So you need to understand this business value. So everyone is working with all other chats, right? So they are simply ask the chat to read the file, and then they can that will provide you the summary of that, right? So it's providing good results, or that's the reason, right? So the main problem here right now is this the context window. So this is what someone raised initially as well. So it will have only the context window. So that's the maximum token which is supported. More content, right? So what it will do generally, it will try to remove the some context, and then it will try to provide you some summary, but that will have some data loss. We are solving that problem. We are not going, right? So you are going to face some data loss, and then you will not have control over it, right? So we are storing the data in the database, in local database, and then we are also having some will do and then how many variables are there, and then what are the like SQL params are there, and what are the called programs. A lot of things is there, right? So this entire informations while we are doing some scanning, right? So we will store this information in the metadata. Is very high, even though if the context is, we can able to provide more of the key features, right? So because if you for example I am going to process thousand I mean 5, I am only able to handle 300 paragraphs. Okay, after that I have the context, this metadata, and then I can cool feature here. So we can combining the application metadata with multimodal intelligence. So that's the one thing. Also, we also provide some visualization, right? So for example, any technical depth in the sense, if I am changing this, I don't know what is going to be affect the others, and then what are the dependencies which is involved there. So here, if you see, you are able to see that thing. So, and this is an architecture, and this is the proposed architecture, and then what is the gap closed. So this entire informations you are able to see in the architecture file. Okay, so before you are going to plan, you will have the complete scenario to you. So for example, if it is not worked, right? So what is the rollback plan I am having? It is also having what is the risk it's going to be caused, and what is the better way to implement. So that complete implementation summary are able to provide in this Z architect mode with visualization. And then the next, if you see, let's take this is one of the COBOL file which I am having. Okay, so I'm just asking this information like, can you please explain this VO file variable from this COBOL file? Okay, so you are asking this information to the without, I'm just saying without Bob, other chat assistant, how it's handling like and calculations by cross-referencing data from the multiple files. This is the response it's providing. It's not very bad. I will not say very bad, but it's not having detailed information. Here, the use of that. So now I am asking the same information on the Bob program that process and calculates the program aggregates distance across multiple flights to produce pilot specific metrics. So you without Bob and with Bob. So this data dictionary is the one of the another one cool feature which we are having. So basically, it will try to understand all your variables, and then we are storing in the file. So any information the user is asking in the chat, it will provide you the complete picture of what variable, because that copybooks will be shared, right? So it will try to understand where other programs are involved, and then it will try to provide this complete summary of all the variable, all the content which is related to that specific variable. So that's what this easy architect mode. The main thing is I want to say is like the metadata and thing which no one is having, the Bob comes into the picture. So with the help of metadata, your context will be saved, and then you are able to provide better explanation compared to others, as well as we are going with spec based approach. So because in today's world everyone is moving content in LLM, I am moving into the natural language, and then I'm moving into the Java, right? So when I'm moving into the natural language, anyone can easily able to understand that one, right? So I'm the product manager. I can easily able to understand the complete architecture using this architecture file. I don't want any developers to go to the COBOL file relation and please explain these things to me. So any persona can able to easily visualize these things. And then coming to the Z code mode, I'm going. This Z code mode, whatever the explain the code, any coding task which you are providing, it can able to easily understand, and then it will provide the response with good quality. and then you can do all your change with confidence, and then it is going to lowering your risk actually. So that's the key part here. And then accelerate code modernization workflows. So why so we have a lot of workflows from our side. So because we don't want the users to take on its bucket, because user need to put a lot of instructions on its own, and then LLM will try to hallucinate a lot of things, right? So we are creating a set of workflows so that a user can easily about how to provide prompts, instructions, this kind of things. So we will be take everything from our own. If you want to do refactor, that you can simply run the refactor workflow. And if you want to ask the explanation for the specific COBOL, you can simply start the explanation workflow that will provide you the complete information to you. And then the next part is optimize, debug, and improve code quality. So I mentioned for code quality, I will show you the demo. So um, you have the your workspace, right? And then all coding guidelines to follow. I am the new developer. I'm joining your team. I am writing the code they have been followed so far. Okay, so I can simply, ask the chat to, can you please generate this code? Any code is generated by the chat. It's going to uh, write the skills for coding guidelines, and then we can refer here. That will be customized as well. So I'm going to then finally, once you generate the code, you modify you as well. So basically, it will try to and find the any issues there in the COBOL file, and then it will try to fix that on its own by Bob itself. So what you guys needs to understand from this two models, from the base, from we are solving try to end instruction like I am going to add this new variable or something. First thing, it will try to understand the variable using the data dictionary. So that's one of the feature which we are having. So it will understand the variable better. And then second is it will try to do the planning before you are going to implement. It will try to do the planning. So it will provide you the complete summary, like what is the rollback, what is the risk if you do this change, and what are the dependencies which is involved. And then finally, you are able to visualize as well in this diagram so that anyone can easily able to do this. And then once you have the implementation planning, this code mode, what it will do, it will try to split the task, right, for this plan. What are the tasks I need to do? It will create a to-do list. One, and then while doing itself, it will follow all the coding guidelines, whatever the user has been having in their workspace. And then once all the task has been completed, if any issue is so far found, it will try to again do the scanning, and then it makes sure all the code will be very clean. And then after that, you can ask as well, like optimize as well. So that will do this thing in every daily life task actually. So this is what this. So thank you for this, Bob. Actually, I will try to show you the demo. I have very minimal time, sorry. So I have a lot of videos, so I will go from the fastest. This is so I mentioned, right? So this is a starting point. So the pair programming concepts, right? So this is uh, equal to here you guys see a lot of things that will be easily able to process it. You don't need any more information. Bob will take care entire thing for you. So the first thing is init. What is meant by init? In the sense, it's going to create it's going to understand your local workspace. Okay, and then it will create an agents.md file. So what does it mean by this agents.md file? Okay, basically this MD of complete understanding of your local workspace. For example, this folder, this is COBOL folder, and whenever I am asking to the chat, can you please find this copybook, or can you please explain this copybook? It will not read the entire local workspace. Okay, because this context will already be loaded into your chat actually. So when I'm saying, can you please explain this copybook, it will directly go into this copybook folder only. It will not read the entire local workspace. So this agents.md file will have complete understanding of your local workspace, so that any chat you are trying to provide, right? It will follow the instructions, whatever you uh, let's see, this is an agents.md file. So here, if you see, it says like this is in workspace types, IBM Enterprise COBOL for zeros. It's IBM Enterprise COBOL for zeros. And then project purposes, this is an IBM demo project, intensely contains bug. So I taken it for some use case. That's what it is happening. This is an architecture, the batch programs, online programs, and then program states. So if I'm asking like explain this payment inside this COBOL folder, it will not read the entire workspace because that context is already available in here. And then here, if you see, I am providing, COBOL coding rules. So it automatically generates on its own because it's coding rules for you. So it needs to have this kick statement, and then every DD name binding, it needs to have. So it will have the complete information. This is so before you are going to planning and going that here, what we are trying to do, we are trying to store all the metadata on our own. This here, if you see, a data dictionary file is not yet created. So far, if you ask any variables now, it may be hallucinate and it will not provide you the better information. So, but after you run the data dictionary and then the file has been there, so you are able to fetch the, you are able to get some clear picture on what this variable is doing. So this is what like the init this is an agents file. So I mentioned this pair programming, right? So here you are mentioning coding guidelines as well. Okay, so whenever I am writing any code in the chat, it whatever the, that's what I'm saying. So this will act like an observer. So what guide us, and then what you are doing wrong, you need to be going in this direction. So that informations and all this agents.md will say to us. And then this is fine, this agent.md is created. So, and the next thing is like need to create skills on your own. So we are having a lot of options for that. Okay, so one of the feature which is having is coding standards. So here, if you see the once the init has been done, I'm going to new coding, new the coding standard skills for my project. So for any code which is Bob is going to generate, it will follow that coding standard. So I will simply trigger this command like z coding standard skill builder and put enter. So if you see here, it will automatically analyze your entire code base, and then it will generate the skills to you. So I will just forward a little bit. A report, it says like need to be see COBOL 89, which is having like this. It will try to read, and then it will try to ask like these are the things it is having file status class. If you want to add this in a coding standards, or you want to like, it will ask you like moderate or strict or advisory. See how Bob is really handling the school features, right? So because you can set like this, like I want only to moderate, I don't want to put a restrict here, and I am saying only advisory. If you put restrict strict, follow that specific guidelines. If you provide advisory, so it will take as an advisory, it will provide you the ask follow-up question, you can follow up or not. If you provide yes, it will follow, otherwise it will not follow. So the way the skill, how the skill need to be look like, everything you can have it like this. I'm mentioning like advisory, so I'm just select advisory. So if you see, and then finally you need to scan it and then see any list of issues there or not, and then I can able to fix that list of issues. So simply I can ask like, okay, once include this code scan so that I can easily able to do it. So it will ask that coding scanner. Here, coding standards skills, it's created under here. Okay, now if you see, it's created. So this is what I shown to you guys previously itself, when to apply the skills or any whenever I'm asking the LLM to generate any new code or modifying the code, the skill will automatically trigger, and then whatever the steps which is mentioned here, it going to follow that. So this is the coding standard skill. So here if you see any reference discovered, everything will be available here. And then yeah, so this is one setup. So I'm showing you. So far if you see here, it will provide you the summary as well. Okay, so me I was here it is there. Okay, so here if you see, I have done the coding standards here. I'm just asking simple program, can you please create one new COBOL functionalities? Okay, so here it is, see, it's going to follow all the coding standard skills, execute coding standard skills first. So it will load all the instructions, whatever we have mentioned. So here if you see, whatever the coding standard guidelines which we have mentioned. See, been created. So now you are able to see the coding, I mean the new COBOL file. It's followed all the coding standards. So here if you see, this needs to be comes under like 3000 or something, 4000 or subtraction, and this is the code which needs to be comes from. So this is almost and then this is what I mentioned. Please start data dictionary flow for this, okay, so it will start the data dictionary. So I'm selecting one file. So it's searching for the variables used in the source code, and then it will try to generate the complete overall descriptions. I mean, business variable descriptions like that. So here if you see, it's generated the complete summary for that variable, so that if anytime if you are asking this, it will not read the COBOL file. It will simply read this data dictionary file, and then it will provide you the summary. So it's so far you are not reading the entire file. Let's take example like you are reading the very large COBOL file for this simple variable. I want to understand this variable in this large COBOL file. You are going to be cost on there, right? So, but here with the help of this data dictionary, you can easily able to understand and provide the summary of that, because this data has been already loaded into the metadata dictionary. So, if you see business summary. Okay, now I will show you this is the setup process, and you the implementation plan. Okay, so before you are going to do the implementation, first scan the program so that I can save all the data. Okay, so save all the metadata in my local DB. So we have two options here. One is local DB, another one is the understand container service. So if you want to share your data with your teammates, and then they want to analyze the summary, then you guys will deploy in the Z understand container service. So anyone has the summary of that. We also have another one options called local database. So using the local database, you scan this program and then it has been scanned. Okay. So now if you see here, how many paragraphs are there in the COBOL file? I'm asking like this questions. Okay. If you ask these questions outside the world, like any chat, it is going to read the file and then it's going to add all the context in your chat. That's going to be consume a lot of cost, right? So, but here it's not doing like that. So we are getting all the information from the metadata, static metadata. So here, if you see, we have not read any files. So it's only read data, the content metadata plus the results. That's what our aim as well. So here, if you see, what are the dependencies so far integrated with this COBOL file scenario. So here is parallel. So these are the tools. Execute SQL queries are the tools, and then here you are able to see complete information. So these are the copybooks which is involved in this patch program. These are the logical files, and these are the internal flow. So entire information you are able to generate using the metadata itself. So you don't need AI for that. So instead of for using this, you are saving a lot of cost on that. So now I'm coming to the implementation plan here. So I'm just asking like we need to add a customer email to this copybook. What is the impact and which program? This is the implementation planning which I mentioned. So it is going to analyze. So these are the built-in skills, right? I mentioned initially. So the skill impact. This is we have our own skills. So that will be not visible here, but the skills will have a lot of instructions which is specifically so. So here, if you see, it will going to ask a lot of questions. Okay, so and then you need to provide all this informations, and finally, you are able to see this impact analysis file. So here you are able to see these are the scope. Okay, and then these are the out of scope. What are the system boundaries? What is the system overview? So here you are able to see the picture. Okay, so as an architect level, I will always be try to look at this point and then try to understand what are the dependencies in so far involved. So it is, and so here if you see, this is the if you, and then what are the direct consumers are having, and that is affecting any database or not. Is the dependent uh, so here you are able to get all the information from this plan. Okay, so what is the impact it's going to create, and then if something is changed, what you need to do. So you need to do the plan before you are going into implementation. That's important because right now everyone is going direct implementation. So and then here if you see what is the risk so far we are having if we do this change. Okay, this is what this implementation mode. So I'm going to now code mode. So here if you see like to now I have the implementation plan. Would you like me also prepare an implementation plan with an exact code? So now I am in, if you see here, this is the Z architect mode. Do the implementation things. So now here, if you see, it's trying to read the coding standard because it's trying to modify some code and then it's going to generate a new code, right? So here, if you see, it's using our inbuilt skills like data dictionary skills, so that it try to understand all the variables as well. So here, if you see, and then what is the change? So now all it's applied now, final read. Okay, so now everything has been changed and it will show you the complete summary, what has been changed, all the informations to you as well back. So it's really cool. Here, once the code has been generated, right? Now at the final stage, it is also asking and in the coding standards. I hope you guys remembered. So at once it's generated, please run this C code scan and then try to show me the list of issues which is there in the code, right? So it will stop here like this. Okay. And then now I will show you the um documentation Z code scan. So here it is there. So now if you see, I'm asking like now the code has been generated, whatever the plan we are having, I'm just asking validate the generated code with Z code scan. And then static tool, guys, it's not using any AI. So because others are using also AI, right? So it's going to again, they are consuming a lot of cost for that. And then it provides the complete list of all the issues. Okay. And then in the chat itself, you can simply able to avoid stop run in subprograms like this. Okay. So see here that fix the issue which is related to this specific rule. So it's going to create a to-do list to you, and then it's going. So here, if you see, it's remove the stop and then it's added like this. Then again, it is running to get the complete map. So here you see it's fix applied, stop run removed from these things, and then your confirms there is no longer present in the latest scan results. The remaining, so one issue has been fixed. You can able to fix one by one bulk as well. So this is what. So now you guys see first do the setups and then you guys do the implementation plan with the Z code mode for convert all these things to run into the task. And then finally you can run this into the Z code scan, and then that will provide you the list of issues and then you can fix it. So end to end, you can easily able to do it in Bob. You don't need to care about anything. Simple thing you can do it in the Bob is just start these things. So I know because I want to cover a lot of topics within our correct time, right? So yeah, we can have it in the Q&A.
Yeah, thanks. That was really helpful. So yeah, people maybe will take a couple of questions and then we'll close it. I mostly answered the questions in the chat. So if people have questions, please raise your hand. I have to unmute you. So you want to go? Then I unmuted you. Hey, Shubham, you still have the question?
Just one thing, like, sorry guys, I missed one point. So this is like implementation plan, and then the the thing I mean which I mentioned, but we have a lot of workflows as well. Like uh, let's take it 5 minutes, Senthil. Maybe that's the power we are having. I will just explain us there. Okay. So lot of features we are having, guys. So let's take here. So sorry, I didn't cover this thing. For that specific COBOL file, you can just simply run this document, and then you can, select the file, whatever the COBOL file which you want to select. And then if you give continue with selection, it will provide you the complete documentation for your COBOL file. You can select this file, select this workflow, and then select the program file. It will do the refactor flow for you. And if you want to explain any code or business rule extractions, everything, a lot of workflows is going to come into documentation, explain, and refactor is already available in the public Bob actually. So you can, if you want to work with this explain code, maybe I will show you some sample as well here. Sorry, I'm taking some time, but this is really cool. Like let's try to switch to demo. Selecting the files here, like COBOL file and then batch file. And then I'm just giving continue. So it's asking the information like this. This is a kind of like workflows, like you are an architect or you are a developer or business. Based on your persona, it will provide you the summary. So I'm just provide the developer here file in developer perspective. Okay, so here if it's scanning the program and then it's trying to extract on its own. So yeah, meantime, I can try to answer any questions, but you guys will play this workflows. We have a lot of workflows is going to be comes in features, but we have 3 workflows right now: explain, generate, and then the refactor. I will also share some like file. So I mean, what is that like? Yeah, blog as well. So you guys will try to um, play with the blog, play with the process, whatever we have mentioned in the blog, so that you guys will get more understanding on that. Provide you the summary of that.
Hey, Shubham is not able to unmute. So, Srini, you want to go? Okay, I don't know what happened. People are not able to unmute. I have unload mic.
It's okay.
So was unmuted.
The explanation summary for us, and then it's program flow, everything. It's really cool. So just try to play with this workflows, guys.
So last resort, I'm going to make people as presenters. See whether that helps them to unmute.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. Tiago, thanks a lot for the session. So, question is package.
So there is no Z Bob. It's only premium package for Z. That's it. And most of Tiago's team had a premium package for I. By the way, you don't need it. So it was showing us premium package for I. So basically, there is a Bob, that's the base version, and there is a premium package for Z that has all the Z related.
Okay, so I think I actually mentioned the basic version. So, what is the difference between the basic and the Z? Can we have the Z arg?
And the workflows that scan your entire code base into a repo. The Z code scan features, syntax highlighting of COBOL, right? It's the base. All the Z open editor features would come related to Z is not going to come in the base package.
That 2 modes will be visible only if you purchase the premium package, and then this premium package will only handle all the Z related stuffs. The base Bob and this are both are different.
Okay. And okay. By any chance, if we avail for the trial version of premium package, explore, just get a hands-on.
So yeah, I have to get back to you on whether premium packages can be got just by email for enterprises. So I don't know the
Okay.
answer to that question. The base Bob version with the 40 Bob coins for a month or 20, I forgot. So, but some Bob coins for a month. But premium packages, I don't know whether they are available with the flow will have those Bob with it, but it is not equivalent to the premium package. Flows, the skills, the modes, and all that will not be available in the base.
Okay. Thanks, Senthil. Thanks, Tiago.
Hello, Senthil and Tiago. Thanks for the wonderful session. So my questions are to adopt this premium Bob, whatever the AI services from IBM to my own shop. What are the steps that I need to, or what is the process?
It's like any software, any
yeah, because and I'm not sure about packages that IBM and my customer has an agreement.
Yeah.
As a developer, as I'm attending such sessions like this, maybe I can come up and since that IBM has a lot of new products that can leverage into our system so that we can improve our productivity or whatever the IBM product gives the advantages, right? So how do I go to my customer and say that about this thing? And yeah.
So it's with like any other software, right? So we do have like that. The customers usually have an IBM rep working with them. Access for a trial version, a tech preview kind of things for the customer so that the customer could try it before they buy it. So there is a set of process that happens in enterprise software sales cycle. So it goes through that, right? This intention of this session was to provide a basic idea on the agentic AI and use Bob as an example. And then we will stop it there. How do customers get it from IBM? There's a well-established process on how that happens, and then it has to go through that kind of process. The licensing is based on the users, like how many users want to use it. So the customers can decide in terms of like they could later.
So
Yeah,
here you
I
can
get
able to
I
see
get that. Okay. Yes.
the Bob portal. So you can able to see the pricing, and then you can able to see what are the features here. You can able to see the tutorials, and then you also see able to blogs as well. So we are trying to cover all these things here. Yeah, you can able to watch this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
the one caveat is that pricing does not see pricing, that is just based off outside of this.
Okay. So my next question is my shop has been taken this with licensing what we are doing. So the automatically whatever the interface I'm saying, the TSO TN3270. So would this be a additional feature somewhere I see like if I open the option 3, I see a lot of list ISPF panel, I see option 1 DB related spoofies and all. So that way I can one of the options is Bob Premium that I can see there.
No, Bob is not integrated into ISPF. We really want developers to get out of ISPF and get to VS Code. Bob is a again, that is I know ISPF is very powerful and all that stuff, but the speed in which the innovation is happening on this area, right? A lot of things
Mhm.
that Tiago was showing, there's so much of code that is not written by IBM, that is written by entire open source community, right? Somebody else innovates and puts it in open source. We take some of it, we custom. Is not going to happen in ISPF. ISPF is only supported by IBM and maybe a couple of other vendors. And we cannot do this. It will that you would like to go to ISPF. Job spool from here. You can view a file using file manager, using a copybook. You can view a file from here. You can query your database from here, JDBC connection, and fire a query on DB2. And so ideally, this is a replacement for ISPF. It is not going to be an additional option in ISPF. There are some few people who like ISPF who are innovating in this. There might be something that will come in the future. But even then, I will say we can never do as much innovation as it happens on the even in modern editors today. This Visual Studio itself from Microsoft is not getting picked up. It's only VS Code at this point that where all these innovations are happening. So this is just how the industry works, not an IBM decision, not a Z decision kind of thing. I think we all have to get to modern industrial standards so that all these innovations, and this is only a starting, right? This is like we are in 1995 is web in 2005 is when it blew up too much, right? So that 6-7 years from here is when it's going to blow up big time. And when it happens, it is not going to happen in ISPF. It is going to happen in a modern editor with a Git-based SEM and all that, right? There are people who are now talking about whatever you are talking with Bob at this point to generate this code. People are talking about storing that in the Git so that when another agent comes tomorrow and tries to find a defect or something failed in production, I want to understand why this is failing, and it understands that okay, this is March code changes. The reason for the failure, they want to go to the level of the conversation that you had with your agent when you did that code change to understand why you did the code change and that way kind of thing, right? All this is not and all that. So yeah, so it's not going to be an option in ISPF. It will be a separate thing that you install on your laptop, and it will connect to mainframe. It will get you all the features that you get in ISPF, but it will be in a modern interface.
Okay, does it mean that ISPF place this ISPF in future, and then only it will directly connect the new products or whatever VS Code or other new modern editors, which or IBM is specifically designing some kind or integration or collaboration with Microsoft or something else.
3270 is older than. I don't think 3270 will go away completely. It's not going to be there. It's going to be somewhere else. 3270. Again, personally, I don't expect 10 years down the line if somebody comes into an enterprise as a mainframe developer. Even today, this should be the case, but it's not, unfortunately. 10 years from here, somebody comes in, ISPF should be something that they use as a last resort. Oh, this is a very complicated thing, and it's not easy to do it here, so I go to ISPF kind of thing. Like, how do you use a command line in Windows today, right? You do go there if you really want to do something. Oh, I have a shell script that I run or something like that. But typically you don't go to a command line to do a DAR. You go to a Windows Explorer to open a folder. I think that is where we have to move. The command line will exist. Windows did not kill the command line. It changed a lot. Today's command lines are much more enriched and all that, but it still exists. But you have other interfaces with which you typically reach and do things. The other thing exists. So ISP will exist. I don't. But the usage has to really come down.
So thanks, Sandil, for the clarification. One last question from my side. So currently we have the premium or whatever. So does it like other AI assist tools, whatever Chat GPT or Copilot or the uh, uh, Claude, whatever they currently what we are currently using in our shop, Copilot, Think Deeper, Chat GPT version. So we are using and we are asking the AI tools and get that, and we are doing it in the code or whatever, or we are doing everything else. Automate the work.
In that space kind of thing. We do things differently, but it's simplistically that way, right? Again, most of what Yahoo spoke, MCP tools, skills, all of this apply across the same concept. It's just the IBM's product because we have a Z knowledge, and then we have we did develop this editor in the last couple of years, so we have now merged all that together and got to the market. It is a competitor to many of the tools that you specify.
So adding to this, I have a lot of pros and cons as well compared to the other competitors. So if you mentioned we are trying as we are better, and then show you the tokens, how much you have been consumed so far, because you are paying some amount to cloud writing a lot of codes on that, right? And then after 4 or 5 days, if you process the large file, and then you are here, we are showing how much how much so far, and then we have provided the pros compared to others. So we are not exactly like them, but yeah, we have a lot of more features other to them.
Thank you very much. So one last, just curious of us. So I have a COBOL visa program. So if I say to the IBM Bob Premium version, hey, convert my COBOL visa to COBOL DB2, with the DB2, and then make sure you make it ready, the production available, and implement it in production. If I give this workflow to the Bob Premium Bob, does it do?
So one thing you have to understand is there is no magic here. Okay, so it is going to be we all work in a world. We are not going to immediately say, okay, I'm going to click a button and things are going to go automatically go to. There are people who are writing completely full-fledged new applications today with the Agentic AI, with they not knowing what is there in the code at all, right? This is happening today. But unfortunately, the place where we are on the mainframe world, you cannot do it. As in, you have an application that is somebody else reading this VSAM data for it? Do I need to make sure that they are also changing to DB2, or do I still get the data from DB2, right? So, question. So,
I got you.
Right. So it's not going to be a single, okay, I click the button and it will happen, right? It's not going to happen. It can make it happen. Again, the compiler, you spoke about compiler. Again, if you sit in a legacy SC, check in a code into it, they need to give me proper MCP tools for Bob to go and check in the code into that SCM so that it will compile, right? Again, and then make sure you have an MCP tool from them and that is configured in Bob and all that. If you have everything, if you ask us to show you a demo, we can do it. I can show you exactly what you described, but I don't have a production banking application. I can show you how we can create change the code to wherever it is referring to VSAM, it can start referring to DB2. It will query from DB2. It has the capability. You can ask it to give you the create. And I can show you that it can run it through our tools, like we have tools for build and compile from IBM and deploy. So you can use our tools, build and deploy it to production. So as a demo, yeah, sure, we can do it. But how you fit this into your own environment, you would have to think, where do you want to give a little bit control to the agent to do it? Where do you want to hold the control? And where do you want to work collaboratively, right? It is not going to be, can it do everything in the world and kind of thing, right? And then utilize it where you could utilize it better.
Adding to that, like we have set of workflows and those, like so, but you can use the power of skills. So that's the main thing. Like skills is the kind of like I am working in Zira and then I am working in a GitHub, so I can integrate with both of them in the chat, and then can you please explain my can you please give history itself. So how I am doing like that. So I'm building the skill so that will try to connect to that integration layer with Zira and GitHub, and then I'm getting the response back from them. So you can, if you want your own workflows, you can build on your skills. So there is a lot of more topics also there I'm not covered. So there is a topic called subagent is there. So instead of running in the same session, so I can able to run the session in the background area, like kind of like subagents concepts. So you can able to run all your own workflows in the subagents. Only part you need to understand is how you are going to integrate with specific set of integration layers. So if you want to connect to the deployment, so where I need to connect that deployment, so that integration point which you need to understand. Easily able to connect to that integration point, and then you can easily using the skill.
Yeah, yes, I understand. I understand. The only reason I was asking tools are not integrated is something that it is underlaid in the ZOS. So most of the mainframes customers or the companies use the IBM mainframe. So which is something that it is completely integrated with the ZOS, right? It's not separated from the ZOS.
Right.
So it has a lot of capabilities. It might be having the so in that point, like advantages than other AI assisted tools when it closely working with the COBOL mainframe ISPF or the VSAM files or the. So that way, I was just trying to see how much the advantage than the other AI tools.
But to be fair, the other AI tools are very good and distributed. You don't see the distributor guys just giving everything to the AI tool and say, okay, yeah, you go create my entire application, right? They still control what they want to control, right? So just because I have access to mainframe doesn't mean that I can take the mainframe developer out and I can do it, right?
Exactly. It depends. Yep. Between how we can share the data, or how it can be integrated, how it can access to everything from the customer environment. Yes, I agree that. We're keeping everything. Yes, agreed. That way, I'm saying.
So like
at a maximum.
we have a lot of tools to connect to ZooWays as well, Santosh. Like we have a lot of MCP tools which just comes from the Zoowi, and then if you can use the Zoowi MCP tools to get that content. So you can able to connect like that. A lot of built-in tools which is available in the PPC.
If I get it, thank you so much for answering.
And then I will also show you much coins totally spent and what is the adoption rate. So that it will be whatever your amount you are spending, this dashboard will help you. So because other competitors will not have this, they don't know you guys don't know how a lot of features is there in the Bob. So yeah, I will strongly suggest everyone to go through this documents and then read about all the features. Thank you.
I was having one question. Should I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
TP model context protocol ensures the secure integration between the LLM and the Z environment.
That's what we are having. We are trying to provide the bridge between that. So right now we are having able to get the content from using the RSC protocol. That's one thing. And then second thing, we are also having options called Bob Shell. Okay, so you can able to install Bob Shell directly on the mainframe itself. That is going to come in the next Bob version. I think it's I mean this really I mean July or August it will be launched. So there you can able to see you are able to now Bob Shell in the mainframe itself, and then you can able to access all the file, and then you can able to get the response from the mainframe. You can directly get the content from Bob Shell itself. So instead of having the IDE, the connections between the mainframe and the if you think the connection is not good from a mainframe to IDE, then you can use the Bob Shell. So that is another one product which we are having.
Through Rackup. So we are not inventing new security, none of that stuff, right? So it still works through Rackup. So if you have access, you have access. Otherwise, you don't have access. The MCP tool by itself does not have additional access. It is using your. So if you use an MCP tool to query a database, if you have access to query the database, and don't have access to query the database, then MCP tool will come back and say you don't have access to query the database. So none of that changes, right? So the interface is the only one that's changing. Similar to ISPF, like if you have tried to run a query in Spoofy in ISPF without access to a database. Similarly, here Bob will come back and say, you asked me to look at that table to find how many records has this value, but it looks like you don't have access to the database, so you have to go before we.
Okay, got it.
Because if you want to connect to Zoo itself, you need to have enter your all your credentials, everything, right? So then only you are authenticated, then only you are able to connect MCP tools as well, and then built in MCP tools. Then only you are able to connect to the mainframe, right? So otherwise you cannot able to connect to that. So I'm just giving another options. If you're not good with this, then you can have the another option as Bob Shell.
Interface, so nobody without any access could allow the MCPs.
No.
My another question, computer science, and I've chosen this mainframe subject as my elective. So, are there any learning paths or any courses that you would recommend?
I don't know, Srini is still there. There's a set of things in Z Explore that has basic understanding of it, right? That is does not have Bob, but it has like typical mainframe developer learning path is there in Z Explore. That is what I'd suggest. And then the Bob things, I think you will see some certifications or there on Bob Fuzzy kind of things. They are not there today. We just got the product out. We don't have the certifications and other things related to that out. So at this point, the Explorer has basic mainframe developer related certifications are there in C Explorer.
Okay.
Yes. So to add to Senthil's point, yeah, we have based like as and when you finish the challenges, you'll be eligible for earning digital badges from IBM. It is the best starting point, I would say.
Okay. So Z Explore is the platform on which all the mainframe related IBM courses are.
Kind of, yeah. Not courses. You'll not find courses there. You'll probably find topic related challenges. So if you take DB2 as a database, so you'll find which will give you a high level overview of how you can use DB2 in the mainframe environment.
Okay. And we'll note a little bit from this session now. So